Greetings, folks, and welcome to today's show. We want to talk about jobs, which is the subject of the day and has been for some time. We have a high unemployment rate, but we also have some jobs that are not being filled, and we want to talk to them about that. Our guest today is Dr. Mary Lou Apple, who you know is the president of Motlow. And to refresh you, she has campuses in Fayetteville, McMinnville, and the biggest area now is up in the Smyrna region, right? So she's got a number of things going on under her hat. So thanks for joining us. And you're just starting a new year. What does the situation look like?
We are. Well, thank you for having me. We're in a growing state again. We had an increase in enrollment, which we were one of maybe 3 community colleges that actually had an increase in enrollment this year. But that growth is because of Smyrna and the new building that we opened there. So it's exciting times again to be able to serve more students. Good.
And how many do you have enrolled in your
We are just
system?
Slightly under 5,000.
Is that the total system?
With the total system.
Okay.
And so that the Smyrna area had about a 12 to 13% growth. So our increase in numbers have come from the Rutherford County area.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, folks, let's take a short commercial break, and we'll come back.
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Mont Eagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
We're back, folks, and we're talking today with Dr. Mary Lou Apple, the president of Motlow, the Motlow system. And we want to talk about jobs, and we have a bit of a dilemma that we'd like to explore. On the one hand, we have a high unemployment rate. The state's running, I think, a little over 8%, which is greater than the national unemployment rate. So we need jobs. On the other hand, we have quite a sizable number of jobs that are not being filled simply because we don't have the people that are trained, that have the right skills to fill those jobs. And that's a dilemma we shouldn't have. So, Dr. Apple, what's going on there? What are we? Can you dimension that problem a little bit for us?
That's a very good recap of what's going on. I think there's several issues we have to consider when we start talking about that. One of the, I think, most challenging aspects is the technology. How technology is changing, how it changes the way we work, how it changes the way we do business. And how do you keep up with technology? And so I think that's changed our workplace. It's definitely changed the skill sets that we need in order to exist. And you can think about maybe even yourself or your show here, how technology has changed it. You know, the cell phones, the social media, all the things, there's, you know, technology changes about every 40 days. So you're, in some aspects, preparing people for a job that hasn't yet been defined, but will be over the next 2 years. So it's a big challenge.
Yeah, and the thing that maybe isn't emphasized enough is that this technology change is running across the board. It isn't like, you know, except for maybe flipping hamburgers, everything else requires a higher degree of skill than it used to just a few years ago.
That's right.
There are no more grease monkeys at the auto place, for example. I saw a picture the other day of a young lady who was doing the diagnosis. You had plugged into the computer on the car, and so, okay. Well, what's the size of that the moment? How many jobs are you missing?
Well, I'm going to speak to the Middle Tennessee area because we try to look in locations where the 11 counties I serve are likely to work, and the jobs that are currently available. And in Middle Tennessee, we've really identified 3 areas that we really need to focus on. One of those is allied health care, the other one is information technology, and the third one is advanced manufacturing, or mechatronics is our program in answer to that. Those 3 have unfilled, right now as we speak, unfilled jobs, and they are good salaried jobs, salaries that would allow people to maintain a middle class type of lifestyle.
Yes. I remember hearing a year or 2 ago that the highest paid job on the floor at Nissan was the guy that keeps the robots working.
That's right.
That's higher tech than running the robot, but so that's true. And are we getting the message to the young people that that's where they have to go?
You and I were talking about what's the perception about advanced manufacturing. Let's just pick that one out as one to discuss, because I think it's one that we're all going to have to help with. It's a cultural perception change of what we, or perhaps our grandparents, parents, knew to be manufacturing, what it looked like, felt like. It's no longer like that. And a lot of our young people have never seen the inside of a manufacturing plant or some sort of processing plant, in which everything's, as you said, run by a computer, has a large robot doing the heavy lifting, moving, processing. If you looked, Amazon is a good one. They're not in the automotive, but everything they do is run by a computer, and barcodes and packaging and conveyor belts. Once they do have individuals pulling some products, but after that, from the time it leaves their hands and gets put together, it's all an amazing processing that has to do with the mechatronics.
Yeah, you're talking about a distribution center that just receives stuff and stores it and then has to fill orders as they come in. So that didn't sound too jazzy. But as you say now, all of that is being done
it's amazing.
Automatically.
It is. And someone has to process every one of those computers to tell it when to work in that particular area. You know, there was a scale. They're weighing the package so they know how much, that the products should weigh. And that's one of their quality controls. The computer knows by reading that barcode it should have 5 items in it, and it should weigh, let's say, 2 pounds. If it doesn't weigh that within a small margin of error, it's pushed off, and then someone will troubleshoot it to see what might be missing.
What happened? Wow. Okay, and again, focusing a little bit on your area in Middle Tennessee, you mentioned the 3 areas. What sort of quantities are we looking at? Do you have
with the recent announcement, we were just talking with Commissioner Phillips yesterday, and with the recent announcement is the Department of Labor, Commissioner for the Department of Labor for the state of Tennessee. And with the recent announcement, you know, we heard Calsonic going to bring on new jobs, new line in Shelbyville. We heard Nesson with up in the Smyrna area. So we've had several different companies that's announced. GM. I mean, there's just several. So mechatronics, we get calls every day wanting workers. And in the Middle Tennessee, it's estimated up to 2,000 jobs are available. Now, these jobs are, from what I consider, good-paying jobs. Those students can exit in level 1 and be making around $40,000 with benefits.
To start?
To start.
Okay, and it goes on from there.
It does. 5 years experience in that particular field, and the employers tell us they can double that salary.
mechatronics, and I remember when you started this this program 2 or 3 years ago over in McMinnville, and you managed to get the industries in the area to support some, what, $200,000 or $300,000 worth of equipment that you needed.
Right.
And so, what have you got? Have you been able to establish the programs in the Smyrna area to?
We have.
You got the equipment to do that?
We did. We did a Department of Labor grant has been responsible for most of the equipment that we locally have, but Governor Haslam announced in this last budget year that he was giving $18 million to equipment for high demand jobs. So there was a caveat. It couldn't be for any program, but for a program indeed that we needed the skilled labor. So he allowed $9 million of it to go to the technology or Tennessee Colleges of Applied Sciences, and $9 million to go to community colleges. So he is right now in the midst of submitting or announcing those grants, and we're hopeful that Motlow's on that list.
Sure. No plans for doing anything along those lines locally?
If there's enough call for it and we have jobs here that are going unfilled, most certainly we would start it wherever we have a demand and then where we have the support behind it, because we still did fundraising in the Rutherford County area. So it's real important that we have people who not only step up and want to hire our students, but help our students be able to complete either by scholarship money or equipment money, whatever's needed to get them to success.
Okay. Well, I remember, and we could toss around a couple of numbers to try to get a handle on this. I mentioned that one report I saw said that we had 900,000 jobs, or 900,000 people, and this is in the whole state, that had some college or some technology training, but hadn't bothered to complete it. So they didn't have a certificate from your place or a bachelor's degree or anywhere. And that seems like kind of a waste, and yet the demand is for those people that have those, that have completed those areas. So how do we, where are those, what are those people doing? Do we have any idea?
Well, it's a good question, and all of us in education are reaching out to those students to ask, can we help you? Is your life where you could see yourself coming back to school, and have you given some thought? Here's a question that I think has to be added on to that. While there are a lot of jobs that you're talking about, the word that you use in front of those is skilled jobs. And I think as we move down this platform of getting more people trained, that we really do need to ask the question and discuss with the person, what do you want to do? What could you see yourself doing? What career would be important to you, and that you would feel good about participating and staying part of that organization? Because there's a difference in someone who wants to get a degree in nursing and someone who wants a degree in, let's say, a humanities degree, because that's a good degree as well. But they need to, in their minds, think about, what do you want to do with it? Where do you want to go? Is it more education? Do you see yourself in teaching, or do you see yourself in research? Or because those are needed positions as well. But sometimes we don't think through to the end.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's take a short commercial break, folks, and we'll go some more.
Who needs this modern world? I can live just fine out here without the road rage and boy bands. Of course, I might miss my Charter HD with football on ESPN and Walking Dead on AMC, ESPN and AMC. And, well, Shark Week on Discovery HD, but that's all. AMC, ESPN, Discovery, TBS, and Comedy Central HD, but that's it. Except for HBO HD.
Charter now has over 100 HD channels and more brilliant HD shows on demand than ever.
We're back, folks, and we're talking today with Dr. Mary Lou Apple, the president of the Motlow system, and we're talking about jobs, both filled and unfilled. We were on the point before the break where we're trying to reach people out there who have some training but didn't go ahead and complete it, and the question is, how do you reach them, and what do you tell them? What do you ask them? How are you treating them?
We're running programs on students that started with us but didn't complete with us, and then we're trying to contact them individually to talk to them about where are you and would you like to come back and think about finishing your degree. And sometimes we find out that they indeed have gone on and they have finished with a private institution, and we do not have an effective tracking method for us to be able to know that, have that knowledge without trying to contact them. But other students, we try to speak with them. We tell them the programs that we have to offer them, and then we tell them where they are toward reaching a degree, and could they see themselves coming back and getting that degree.
What sort of responses are you getting?
It's very varied. It depends on where they are in life. Huh? It is. Sometimes it is, I have small children, it's not the time in my life. Other people, I just now got a job, or I'm working 2 jobs, and it requires that for me to maintain my living standard. And some will say, yeah, I've been thinking about coming back. I might, I'll come and talk to you about it. So it's very varied, and it really depends on their life circumstances.
Okay. Well, are you having some luck?
We are, and I think we have a lot to offer that sometimes those students don't realize, that there's more than just a day class and an evening class, that you do have online and hybrid and condensed and summers and block scheduling, and there's just all sorts of alternative scheduling methods that's offered at Motlow that a lot of times the average person has not called or checked into what's available to them.
Yeah. We don't talk much about that. There's a lot of education going on that's not like going out to the campus and sitting in the classroom.
Right.
And yet it's available.
And we run even 7 days a week at Smyrna. So that a lot of people have babysitting problems Monday through Friday, but they have family members that's home on Saturday and Sunday. And
you're running 7 days?
We have been running 7 days for about 3 years.
Wow.
In Smyrna. So we have what we call the Weekend Warrior program, where people can come on weekends and get their degrees. So we're really trying so many different formats that reaches out to wherever they are in their life and saying, we want to help you. We want to help you get and finish that degree and hopefully get one of those jobs.
You're managing to be terribly flexible. I think most folks wouldn't envision academia as working Saturday and Sunday, to train a bunch that couldn't get there during the week. So, okay, well, and recently Governor Haslam has been a little more active in this stirring this pot, and he's identified sort of a target for next 10 or 12 years, not 2025 as I recall, in which he wants to produce about close to 500,000 additional trained jobs of one skill or another. Now, how do you go about deciding what those jobs are going to be and where the training needs to be and who's going to do it and how do you get it funded and all that kind of fun stuff?
Those are very good questions. He has started an initiative, Drive to 55. He would like to see 55% of all Tennesseans hold some sort of post-secondary credential. Now that could be from our TCAT centers, a community college, or university. But he has identified that 8 of the 10 jobs that will be coming available or are available at this time require less than a 4-year degree. So he wants us to really focus on the skill sets in that area. So that for each one, how does that translate down to Motlow Community College? Our portion of that would be for us to aim to produce 8% more graduates every year. And the way we have approached it is to look at the jobs that are available in our Middle Tennessee area, because most of our citizens wish to live here. They've selected this area to live in for quality of life. They would like to live here, raise a family here. We would like to help them do that and obtain a good paying job.
Sure. And are you able to identify sufficiently what those jobs are and what the skill levels are required? And among other things, I wondered to what extent you might be dealing with the question that, well, most young folks, when you're talking about doing a life's work, they have the vision they need to go on to college and get a degree there, and that's, from what you're just saying, that ain't necessarily so.
Right, especially to enter into a skilled workforce. And one of the things, like the program that we've started, and we're doing it with information technology as well, but the mechatronics is a good one. We wanted it to be like a stackable credit so that they could come in. Let's say the student's not sure that they want a college degree or can obtain a college degree. Well, the first level is only 4 courses. It's 4 courses, and they can take an internationally recognized credential in advanced manufacturing and mechatronics and enter right into the workforce and get a good job. That's one of those up to 2,000 jobs that we could place today. But they can use those same credits, they're college credits, and come back in and apply those toward an associate's degree. And if they want to exit back out then and be a higher level skilled, they can do that. But if they want to go on, Middle Tennessee State has level 3, and it's a bachelor's degree in engineering. And so they can come take those credits and transfer them right on. So it's a nice, smooth career, and that's what we want to help people, is give them options and opportunities for the future. And to do that, you want it seamless. You go in and you come out and you work. And then when your life allows and you're motivated, you go back in and you can get more, and you come out and work and make more. And you can do that several times throughout your lifetime, depending on what you want to do with your career.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to change it 2 or 3 times during your career too.
Good point.
That's something that we snuck up on us.
Yes, it did.
Well, I'm wondering what the if we have this situation, how are we getting the message across? We must not be doing a quite adequate job yet of reaching down to the young people and sort of giving them the facts of life, the realistic approach to what they need to do and what they need to know. I don't know, do we have any formal approach for doing that?
I think we're looking at more concepts at getting a formal approach, and there is much discussion going on about starting in the middle school around 5th grade to go back to talking about careers in the 5th grade. That's when they're making a lot of critical decisions. I know we think that's young, but the students really start thinking about careers at that age. And so we're really talking about how can we make an impact again. We did do that. You remember a time when job shadowing was very big and students went with their parents or other people, and we still do that some, but it doesn't have the priority that it has had in the past. And we really want to talk to people about getting it back in there and talking about and really asking families and grandparents, talk to your young people about what it takes to work. Just what does it take? What kind of characteristics does it take to be a good employee? And how do you develop those? And then just talk to them about the importance of showing up to work every day. That it does matter to that employer, and you have to care about that employer for them then to equally care about keeping you there. And then to think about what skills would you need. And I think a lot of our young people are thinking about, I'll have to do this for 60 years. But back to your point, no, you're probably going to get a chance to retool and get a different job several times in your career.
Yeah, that's kind of a hard one to get your arms around, but it looks like that's the facts of life. Well, guess what, folks? We've run out of time, as we frequently do. We got to take a short commercial break and wrap up.
Imagine a world with more birthdays. We strive for it every day. We fight to get people the best access to care and the chance for more parties to plan. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
We're back, folks, and we've been talking today with Dr. Mary Lou Apple, the president of the Motlow Community College System. And we've been talking about jobs, and more particularly the fact that we've got a lot of jobs that we're not able to fill because we don't have the right skills. So, Dr. Apple, you got a final message you'd like to point the folks at?
I do. Thank you for that opportunity. Motlow College is your community college. We really do want to help you or your loved ones, your children, your family members obtain a job that they're happy with and they get good wages. And to do that, we need your help in talking to your students or to your children about what it takes to work. What are the characteristics about going to work and being dedicated to your job and sticking with it, and the need to get some kind of skill sets that set you apart from other people. And that there are jobs available, but we have to put forth the effort to get the skills, and then we're here to help you do that. So we hope that you'll take advantages. Look to see what we have. Visit us on the webpage, come out to our campus, but see if we can help you obtain and fill those skilled jobs that are available.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, Dr. Apple, for taking time to join us today. And thank you, folks, for inviting us into your parlor. And we need to get along to get involved in this, as well as Dr. Apple and the other training programs. So let's take a little chore onto ourselves. Thanks for inviting us into your parlor, and we'll see you next time.